My name is MIRAD. I am Chief Research Officer at IPS, and I also have the pleasure to coordinate all of our work in terms of prevention of radicalization, violent extremism, and organized crime. And within our team, that's where it falls the MIRAD project, multi-ideological assessment towards disengagement, which mainly intends to understand the different gaps from a plenitude of stakeholders, from community organizations to prison, probation, other stakeholders within the criminal justice system, prosecutors, policymakers, on what kind of collaborations exist, how cooperation can occur between different stakeholders, so rehabilitation of violent extremists and terrorist offenders can be increased.
Dr. Magdalena Elgamari, I'm an expert from Poland. So when we talk about radicalization and all this issue connected with trainings, I think the main challenging issue for us, it's especially comprehensive approach, that from time to time we have problems with procedures, with non-governmental organization and those which are governmental, and mostly with the context of definition, not only about violent extremism, but also with terrorism. So that's why I think that not only radicalization, but also the de-radicalization programs are crucial. So I'm very happy to be in this program and to talk about MIRAD, and also I hope for the next not only discussions, but also projects like this, because this is the first step what we should take forward.
The project is quite holistic in that term, because it's in different sets of the project. It focuses specifically on some sets of factors. Of course, that a main component it regards the training not only on organizations to pilot and evaluate their own practices to increase the reliability and trustworthiness at the eyes of the criminal justice stakeholders, but then of course on capitalizing on previous risk assessment instruments, adapting according to European Commission and practitioners' needs, ideology-centered, gender perspective needs to be exacerbated, and as well to apply this kind of programs, either focus on disengagement or de-radicalization over time, so to ensure the prison exit continuum, because people many times tend to forget that practices only happen in prison, but they need to occur after sentence as well. So towards rehabilitation, also focus on reintegration and stabilization in the community.
I'm Joan Carlos Tortosa. I work in the Catalonia government, specifically in the Mossos d'Esquadra police force, and I'm on charge on the prevention and extremism programs, specifically in training programs. I'm the training programs coordinator. So regarding the main challenge on violent extremism and prevention of violent extremism in Catalonia at the moment is what we have to do with all the offenders that are leaving the prisons. Actually, at the moment they are linked to specific programs on resocialization, but only with security measures, for example, electronic devices, monitoring, etc., etc. But one of the things we have to think about is that they have to be resocialized. So it's very important to build specific programs on prevention for them, very close to the municipalities and the local approach we try to do. So we're just building that at the moment.
And the specificities of this event, we are here culminating a whole set of work with stakeholders from the prison, probation, and also policymakers from the end-user countries in the partnership. So Bulgaria, Poland, France, Spain, and Greece, the 5 end-user countries within MIRAD project, to go back a bit on time, how we have came until this moment, checking what they have said at the national level and what their needs and challenges on applying multi-agency cooperation protocols within their own framework of national stakeholders, how information sharing is being practiced or not, and then also to introduce some case studies on how to apply some EU directives and EU regulations towards ensuring that information is collected and sharing according to the all ethical standards. So it will be. I'm very looking forward to hear the discussions on the different perspectives from completely different jurisdictions, and I think that we'll be having a fantastic event here today.
My name is Teresa Quintel. I work for the European Centre on Privacy and Cybersecurity at Maastricht University. And what I'm always saying is that data protection should not be regarded as an administrative burden because it's a fundamental right. We now have the GDPR, of course, that everyone knows, but also the law enforcement directive that is applicable in the law enforcement context and processing of personal data there. And it's very important. It's a very important piece of legislation because it recognizes the need of data protection in that area. And it's important also in the sense that those authorities that process personal data need to, on the one hand, raise awareness within the authority, for example, in terms of staff training and so on, of the importance of personal data protection, but also be transparent to the extent possible towards individuals whose personal data are being processed, for example, in order to build up trust also in what they are doing in the performance of their tasks.